بالعلم بل بالأدب تنال أعلى الرتب فعش حياة العلماء وقرأ صنوف الكتب.
إخوة الإيمان والإسلام, as I promised last month when I was here for my Friday khutbah, that I will give you some updates concerning our project of the new Masjid and Islamic Center, which we are trying to establish here in northwest London, specifically speaking between Swiss Cottage, Finchley Road, South Hampstead, that region, or West Hampstead, wherever it is possible for us to have a center in this region, since there is no Masjid or Islamic Center in there at all. We're working on that, walillahi alhamd. As you know, we started this project last Ramadan. So it's been no longer than 7 months or 8 months since we started this project, walillahi alhamd. And as I mentioned, this project is divided into 3 stages: stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. Each stage is 1 year. We are still on the first year. So the first stage will come to an end by the end of this year, inshallah ta'ala. The 31st of December, we will come to the end of the first stage. What does this mean? Each stage has 3 parts. The first part was in Ramadan, the month of Ramadan, walillahi alhamd, 2024. That finished by the end of Ramadan. The second stage was after Ramadan all the way to the last day of Dhul Hijjah. The last day of Dhul Hijjah. That's part 2 of stage 1 finished. As for part 3 for stage 1, we're still experiencing that, and we're still working on that, and it finishes on the 31st of December this year, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Alhamdulillah. So our aim was to buy a building. We're still aiming for that. How much money did we raise so far? As you know, in Ramadan only, we raised more than £52,000. Alhamdulillah. In this very place, we raised more than £5,000 in Ramadan, in this hall. As for the rest, alhamdulillah, many more masajid in the UK that allowed us to do fundraising, and that's what we got our money from, those masajid collections that we had. And then after Ramadan until today, walillahi alhamd, we've managed to raise another £20,000. So we are at about £73,000 since Ramadan until today. That's how much we raised, walillahi alhamd. Obviously, as you know, we are a registered charity with the Charity Commission in England and Wales, walillahi alhamd. Everything is official, everything is in documents. We have management, trustees, and everything is legal, walillahi alhamd. We are working hard to achieve 100k by the end of this year, the 31st of December. With this 100k, we can do a lot, inshallah ta'ala. We're trying, perhaps before we buy a building, to rent something permanent. A building this size or twice the bigger of this in this region here. Rent it and use it for at least 5 or 7 years. Use it as a base so that we can save enough money, develop a stronger community, so that it's easier for us to buy a place in perhaps 5 or 6 years' time. As you know, it is very, very, very hard today. Almost impossible, not impossible, but almost impossible to raise more than this price, nearly £1 million. As you know, the Muslim Ummah is suffering, the people in Gaza, the people in Sudan, the people in Burma, they need more charity than the bricks that we need for the masjid. Though the masajid are the platforms for these people and the voice for these people, but we need to suffice their hunger and their thirst first. That's why there is more donations being sent there than in the masajid, which makes sense. So what I'm trying to say in here, it is very hard in times like that to raise this amount of money, as Muslims' attention is all Gaza, Sudan, wherever the Muslim need is. And it makes sense, ikhwat al-iman. But this does not mean we neglect this kind of platforms and stations. They're the voice for the people of Gaza and the Muslims, wherever they might be, as you know, walillahi alhamd. So we're still working gradually on that. So we will rent this place, inshallah ta'ala, so that we can have the 5 daily prayers. In this very place, we're blessed to have this place for the last at least 6 years, walillahi alhamd. The community stood by us and stood for us, and we are with them for the last 6 years at least. It will always serve this for as long as Camden allows us to to have this place. But we want a place where we can pray 5 times a day, where we can have madrasa 6 days a week, not just the weekends only, without restrictions. We can use this, but we can use another masjid. Why not? Ikhwat al-Imani wal-Islam. In this place, as you know, we cannot have it for us only. So it's shared by the neighbors in here and the community in here. Therefore, we have to be understanding, and we have to do our best to have our own independent place, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, which will be called Al-Markaz Al-Islami li Talib Al-Ilm, Seeker of Knowledge Masjid and Islamic Center, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So these are the updates that I wanted to give you. So we're looking to rent a place, use it as a base for at least a few years until we have enough money to purchase a building, Ikhwat al-Iman wal-Islam.